over the years, I fell in love with my tattoo and I was like, okay, I'm going to make something more out of this. This is just not going to be hidden on my body, but it's definitely going to be something big. So that's why, I thought of making my emblem as a shooting star, but with a purpose. Again, I just wanted people to wish upon that star, with their clothing or with whatever dreams they have in their life around fashion. And I wanted to make them come true.
Hmm.
So that's why.
This episode of Grounded in Maine is sponsored by ESG Review. ESG Review magazine is published quarterly in February, May, August, and November and is available for free in print and digital formats. ESG Review is devoted to environmental, social, and governance strategies, technologies, and investments. ESGreview.net is updated every Wednesday with 8 new stories and is home to feature articles, news items, and more. Visit esgreview.net to stay informed and help us spark the collaboration and awareness needed to develop sustainable economies and communities around the world.
There's a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Grounded in Maine podcast is an open conversation about how we show up for the world. I started this podcast out of a desire to learn new ways to be sustainable because the word sustainability is big. It can be overwhelming, and I just wanted to learn, different ways to try to be part of the solution and not feel like it's too late. So I'm talking to people who are doing different things and learning so much. I hope you are too. Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy Bolduck, and my guest today is Megha Patil of Happy Lilliput. And I want to tell you guys about Megha and Happy Lilliput before I have her start talking because I have been doing some research and it is the sweetest thing. I mean, so Megha it's clothing, and so she calls her clothing exquisite celebration attire. And when this airs, I want you guys to go back and look at the promo pictures that I'm sharing on Instagram and LinkedIn because this is it really is exquisite celebration attire, and it's so Megha, thank you so much for being here. And so you're in Massachusetts, and I was connected with you through my friend Marianne DeMello Smith. I want to shout out Message in the Middle, Marianne's awesome podcast because I listen to her every single Saturday, um, and because she hooked me up with Megha.
Thank you. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you, Marianne. And so, Megha, thank you so much for being here. I would love for you to tell us about Happy Lilliput and also, where this came from. So I mean, this is like, I want to just point out that you call this small scale production and zero waste production.
Yeah.
And so where did this come from? Can you tell us your story of this, please?
Yes, of course. Yeah. First of all, I would really like to thank you. Thank you, Amy, for thinking about me and really valuing my brand, because Happy Lilliput was a dream which has really come to life in 2023. So I started working for Happy Lilliput, I would say, in my head when I was a little girl. I didn't know about the name or anything what I was going to do around it. But when I gave birth to my daughter in 2011, and I started looking for dresses, I wanted something really unique for her birthdays because India is really grand on celebrations. We do like big birthday parties. We have like thousands of guests who come for first birthdays and fifth birthdays.
For
And
real? Thousands?
yes, yes, thousands. Because it again depends from family to family. Sometimes there are intimate birthday parties, and sometimes there are families which really love to throw parties which are larger than life. And I am a part of such family.
I love that. Makes
Yeah.
such a big
So
deal. And so you
even
wanted
in our
a special
weddings,
dress.
yes. So that's why I wanted something very unique and very nice for her, which really was, aligning to what I have grown up wearing. So that's how like I was looking for dresses. I didn't find any. And it's such a funny story that my husband and me, like we put a dress together We went to the fabric stores. We got some fabrics, and then I did the cutting, the drafting, and everything. He didn't know how to sew at all. He still sat on the sewing machine, and I had a team of people who were working for me back then as well. And we all together, we put a beautiful, like a ball gowny dress for her on her first birthday. I wish I had picture to that. I'll try to find one.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's how like I really thought about these things. But when I say it really started since I was a little kid, why I say that is I grew up in a family where, my mom, my dad, my brother, like I always saw them getting dressed like very mindfully. There was nothing just grabbing a t-shirt or grabbing a joggers and wearing something and just stepping out of the house. Never, never have I seen this. My father had like white shirts. He had like hundreds of white shirts, but every shirt was like, totally different. And earlier, I never used to understand, like, what is so different about these clothes. You have your all shirts are white. And then he used to literally sit me down, make me feel every fabric, show me every texture of those white shirts. And then I used to think, oh my God, there are so many different fabrics.
Oh,
Like, and there are
wow.
so many different textures on just a white fabric.
So it wasn't just like seven of the same thing for, one for every day of the week. They were all different.
All were different. All were different. And like, there were like very few, the weavings were different, the texture was different on the shirts, there were different fabric blends. So that's how I understood that, oh my God, there's so much more to do in fabrics. And then my mom, like, she was always so thoughtful. I never, like, very rarely I remember wearing store-bought clothes. My mom used to go to a fabric market, select the best fabrics for me, come home. She used to go to sewing classes back then, and then she used to sew beautiful dresses for me. And I was like really pretty, like always nicely dressed, since a kid. So that's how I always knew I wanted to get into clothing or, the fashion industry and make a difference. But yes, um, my family had different plans for me. They wanted me to be a doctor or an engineer, where I would actually make money.
Right.
Yeah, but then, yeah, I still didn't leave my passion towards fashion. I listened to them. I'm a BSc biochemist with my, like, I'm graduated in BSc biochemistry. So I made them happy as well. And after I was graduated, the second day I went to my dad and I said, see, I did what you wanted, not completely, because I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to cut people's, skin,
Right.
throat, or like, do those things.
Right.
But I would rather like to pursue my dream, which is fashion. And he was pretty supportive. We started looking for colleges, in London or in Mumbai or in different places. So I found a beautiful college in Nottingham Trent University, where my father and my mom, they were happy that, okay, fine, she can just go pursue her dream there. But things just don't go always the way we want to. So I didn't really get my admission in there. So I stayed back in India. I found a wonderful college in Mumbai. I'm still friends and very, like, we are very closely connected to the directors of the college, like, where I've studied. They are such incredible people. I still value them so much. So
Mm.
I studied my fashion there. And while studying my fashion, I was always, kind of interning with different designers and different stores and boutiques in Mumbai, where I got to learn so many intricate details and techniques of how things are done. Because these things are never taught in colleges. In colleges, we learn theory, we learn the history, we learn the techniques,
Right.
but very theoretically. It's not practically. So that's why when I was working with these boutiques, I understood that, oh my God, okay, there's so much of wastage. This fabric is getting wasted. And I used to ask questions to my boss, what are we going to do about this? She said, it's scrap. And I used to be like, oh my God, okay, fine. I couldn't do much, but my heart used to ache
Right.
just listening to these things. And then slowly, like I kept changing my jobs, changing my places from one place to another. Then I got married, and then we moved to the UK with my husband because he had a great opportunity waiting for him. And I wanted to be supportive because I knew that with my business, I'm not going to make that bigger amount of money at this point of time where we have to grow, as a family. I had a daughter. We had to think big. So I took a leap of faith. Closed my business and, I just moved with him. And when I moved with him, I was still so restless every single day. I was like, oh my God, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to sit at home.
Right.
And of course, I loved spending time with my daughter, but she used to go to her nursery. my husband used to go to work, and I used to just be sitting at home, thinking, okay, this is not my calling. This is
Right.
not my purpose of living. So what do I do? So I enrolled myself in London College of Fashion, like, University of Arts, London.
Yeah, you
And
did.
yes. And then I was like, okay, while my daughter goes to school and my husband is there, I'm quickly going to run to London, do my course, come back home, and, just be a good mother and a wife. And then I studied my fashion styling there because I didn't want to do designing again because I had already done my fashion designing and design management in India. But yes, styling was something which was very well rooted to me. And I just wanted to learn it from an international perspective, how things change around those.
Right.
And so I studied fashion styling there. And while I was studying that, I always was like constantly sketching and drawing. And I used to walk in the like stores, Burberry and Louis Vuitton. Like, there were so many incredible stores on the Oxford Street. And that would be my homework to myself. Okay, you have to go find 5 elements from a designer, like which is very unique and what resonates to what I want to do in the future.
Hmm.
So I used to do these little researches, but to be very honest, I don't want to sound rude or mean. Nothing resonated, like, nothing at all. I was like, okay, this is really nice, but I want to do something different. So that's why I started sketching around these dresses again. And when I was thinking about celebration or attire for little girls, it was only tulle, all tulle. I tried cotton, it did not give me the luxury. I
Right.
tried so many fabrics, brocades and stuff. They are not very internationally recognized fabrics, they're very Indian. So I can make Indian clothing in brocades, but I cannot make, like, very pretty ball gowns and stuff and brocades because that fabric is very stiff. It doesn't flow the way I want it to. So that's why, like, I thought, okay, tulle, but tulle was not the best fabric at all.
Right.
The sustainability element in tulle is, like, I would say, zero.
Right. Well, so
There,
brocade is like it's a heavy fabric,
it's a
right?
heavy fabric,
And then
right?
tulle is very not heavy, but it's also
Yeah, it's a very lightweight and very, yeah. So I was like really every day struggling with these things, and my mind just never stopped racing. So I was like, okay, I'm still gonna try tool, but what if I try like a custom made approach in tool? I'm just gonna make few samples in these dresses, try how people respond to them. Do they like it? Do they not like it? So the first time when I made my outfit, like my samples, they came in my hand for the first time, I was in tears. I was happy because we had lined it with 100% cotton lining. There was not even a single trace of tulle from inside, because we had done such a unique technique, I would call it, of sealing everything inside the tulle and then, just giving a cotton finish inside. So any kid who wears this is never going to complain that it's pricky,
yes,
or
because
it's itchy.
tulle is it's like scratchy.
Yes,
You
it is.
scratch
Yeah, yeah.
the
It's scratchy and
leather skin on
prickly.
the inside.
Yes, exactly. So I did this, and then I was like, okay, so it's still going to be a lot of work. So how do I make it more unique, more different? I just don't want to make clothes. So that's when, I went and I spoke to my mom's team back in India. So my mom always was like, okay, I can help you, but I just wanted to be like, no, I've got this. I'm going to do it on my own. But then I knew I did not get it, and I had to take help and support from my mom, where she works with marginalized communities, in India. So there were these beautiful flowers. Like, I could see when we were sewing these dresses, there was so much of leftover tulle, which used to just go to waste. So I used to gather those tulle. My team, I have an incredible team in India now. Like, there are fashion design students in there.
Oh,
And so there is a main head designer, I would call him now. So he designs everything. He puts all my ideas into reality. His name is Karan. And then I have Siddharth and I have Dhanashri. Like, they are the wonderful, wonderful kids, who are really supportive and who are really aligning with my vision at this point of time. So
hmm,
we all work together collaboratively. So I will never say that they work for me. We all work together in this.
right.
So that's when, we train these women to make these flowers. It was not easy at all, not easy at all. So because every petal had to be, like, burned from the sides, because we also used organza for these flowers.
Mhm.
These both are not all sustainable fabrics. Okay, I'm just going to be very honest again. So we took those, and every petal was really very beautifully burnt. So we tried so many unique techniques. We used a candle first. It used to leave a black soot. we used like on the gas, it used to just quickly burn out. So we had to take an oil lamp, you know,
An
which is
oil
like called
lamp.
a diya. Yes, it's called a diya in India. So which we burn on like Diwalis. We light it and it just lights up everything around our houses. So we took an oil lamp. We tried it with that technique, and that's what worked. So it was a lot of time consuming, but yes, the flowers which came up was so incredibly beautiful. And all these women, who used to come and make these flowers for us were many times not allowed by their husband to go and work outside. They had to take care of their house, stay at home, no working. But these people, some of them, they used to just sneak because they used to feel that this is going to get them joy. So
Right.
they come for some time, like maybe an hour or two, and they used to make these flowers for us, and they used to feel so happy about it.
Right.
And when we made these flowers, and I never hire anyone as such, I would say. I always empower them that, okay, I'm going to teach this to you. You make it, I'll buy it from you. So this is how, everything started. So when I bought those flowers from like all these women, so one woman from that, she bought her first lipstick and then she called me and she was so happy because that was the first time ever that she had bought something for herself from her own hard-earned money.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh, I
yeah, so
love
this is
that.
celebration for me. That's why, like when I say celebration, like exquisite celebration attire, the celebration is not only for clothing or the people or the kids who are going to wear it on the birthday parties. It
Right.
is celebration of the people also, who are behind making these incredible pieces. And every kid who orders this dress, like every family, like a mom or father, most of my clients are like grandparents who want to get these beautiful
Yeah.
dresses for their grandkids, so I always send them a postcard and like there's like a little leaflet which shares the story of how the dress was made. And through this, so many young kids have been inspired. Like I get messages from so many parents that they say they are so inspired with you. They just come, they start sketching, and then they always say, I want to be like me one day. And that's what touches my heart so much.
Mm.
And yeah, so like Happy Lilliput started as a celebration attire, only for younger kids, but slowly my friends, I would definitely call them like, my great, great business friends now. So they were the one who inspired me and they were the one who pushed me, I would say more, that you have already done your fashion designing. You designed so many incredible pieces for older women. I always wear my design clothes.
Right.
So they really started like, pushing me that, oh, can you design this for us? And I was like, of course I will. And that's how I started designing for older people, like, or like older older women and everyone, business women mostly, I make their business suits
Oh my
and
gosh, I totally missed that part. So you're
yes,
you're
yes.
you're dressing older folks as well.
Everyone now, yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's celebration, but again, slow fashion because it's just one of a kind piece which you will never find anywhere again.
Right.
Because I know, like, the fabrics and everything which I'm using for my people, I tie a story around that. I sit with them, I understand their needs, I try to, talk why do they need this and what is the purpose behind this because they can just go to any store, they can go to Ann Taylor, they can go to Bloomingdale's and they
Right.
can just grab a piece. But, I really love them because they are so thoughtful and they just don't want to buy something off the shelf, which is fast fashion again.
Right.
They want to support my cause, they want to support my mission, which is sustainable fashion, but with a custom made approach. Because I couldn't change the fabrics in the sustainability industry with the kind of work I do. But yes, I could change that approach with a custom made clothing line. And even when I say small batch production or low manufacturing quantities, like low minimum order quantities, so that means if somebody is willing to start their own clothing line or own lifestyle brand, every time getting an inventory of 100 pieces and sitting on it and thinking when it's going to sell, that's a very, very big stressful situation for any business owner. So
Mm.
in this case, if somebody wants to start a business, I support them with, 6 to 30 pieces minimum order. They can just start as less as 6 and maximum as more as 30. But of course, there are some people whom I know, like I work with so many incredible clients. Like I've been blessed with such beautiful clients, over the years. So I know when they are really thorough with their research and they know where they're going to sell, that's when I get into mass production with them. And unless I know the client and they're just trying to dip their, toe in the water, I'm always, trying to create a little mindfulness around them. I'm trying to convince them in
Right.
ways, where sometimes they get convinced, sometimes they don't. But most of the people they do, because I said, I know you have a lot of money. I know you want to start this, but is this really going to give you joy when you don't sell it? You know,
Mm,
because selling is the biggest thing. Anybody can start a business, anybody can make products, but if you don't know how to sell, you're
right.
just going to sit on that inventory and feel demotivated, no, demotivated about yourself.
Right.
So that's when, yeah,
Right. Because, well, I mean, fashion trends move so quickly. And so
yeah,
if you're like, I'm going to make 30 of these and you only sell four,
yeah,
then they're outdated. And, who's going to, people might not spend the money on that. And then you're just like, ooh, I just spent all that money. That was a bad, bad choice. But you
yeah,
still have all these pieces that are not, that are in circulation and not being utilized. I think that's so genius.
yeah,
And you guys also, Mega is a consultant.
yeah,
So she's working with brands as well.
yeah,
So and this is, what she's talking about here. But so when you said that you were making that someone asked if you made clothing for old, people that were older than, children,
mhm.
I was thinking, as your daughter is what, 14?
14, yeah.
14 now.
He
So,
turned 14,
as
yeah.
she's growing,
Mhm.
um, you're going to want to keep dressing her. And so you want to make, and if you're making dresses for her, you can make dresses for other 14-year-olds.
Yeah,
But then you said that you make them for yourself.
yeah,
And I was like, oh my gosh, of course, of course.
yeah,
We have all these, special occasions,
yeah,
galas or,
right.
whatever.
Mhm.
Balls, I don't know. I don't do that.
Yeah,
But, if you have a special occasion, how much more special can that be than to have something that's made specifically for you?
right. And it's meaningful again, because you know the entire story behind what you're wearing. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, it's not, I just picked this off the rack.
yeah,
This was mindfully made with me in mind. Yeah.
right.
That's fantastic. That is really
Thank you.
fantastic. And so the minimum order quantity is what you were saying about the 6 to 30, right? And
Yes,
like, just being mindful, like how many do you actually think you're gonna sell?
you're right.
I just think that's so fantastic. I love that because, so many people are like, the more the mer the more
Yeah,
I can make, the more money I can make, but then it's going to be poor quality or just, outdated. And, then you have all these pieces. Oh my goodness. Uh,
yeah. And you know what I feel in like low, like minimum order quantity or low, uh, like quantity or just like small batch production is the thing is if people really, really value your product, they are willing to wait as well. They give pre-orders. They will because very few people need something immediately tomorrow. And I don't call them mindful people, like to be very honest, I am not someone who will just buy something off the rack and wear it for an event tomorrow.
right.
If I know I'm gonna go for an event, like these kind of events over the frame of the next 1 year, I have my looks planned. Because at least if I'm not very specific that okay, this is what I'm gonna wear on this date of this year, not at all, not like this. But at least I know these are the kind of events I'm gonna go to, and these are the kind of outfits I'm gonna need over the next few years. So I always have them in my closet. And I'm not someone who shops again and again and again. If I make something once, I will make sure that I'm using that for the next 10 years or 12 years. I never like to throw anything away just one time use and get rid of it. No, so this is again, sustainability, like a huge sustainability aspect because while growing up, I'm sure like, even you did not have a closet full of clothes, right?
Right.
There were like few clothes which our parents used to buy for us. We used to value them so nicely, use them nicely, and
Right.
then just, hand it over to the next generation. Like I grew up in a family where I wore my clothes and then my cousins did and the cousins' kids did. So we used to pass over our clothes to everyone. So that's why maybe it's just inside my blood. Like, it's in the roots where sustainability is like a big, big thing for
Yeah,
us.
of course. And
Yeah.
so did you grow up sewing? I know you said your mom was taking sewing classes and
Yes, so I used to sew, but not a lot, to be very honest, because in India you get so much of labor help over there, that I can design and somebody can just sew it for me. I will not say that I don't know how to sew. Of course, I know how to sew, but now I don't get time where I'm sitting and sewing.
right,
So I just translate all those designs to someone like my team, and then they sew it.
right. Well, I mean, you said you made the first,
Yes, yes. So when I was like literally working on the samples and stuff, I used to sit for hours and hours, cutting the fabric and like
right?
working around the samples and pieces. Yeah, but then later on, I just had to go to my mom and take help.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've got too much going on. My
Yeah.
goodness. I mean, you've got to do the marketing and,
Yes, I'm doing everything. So in the US, it's just me. But in India, yes, I can say it's my mom and my team and like everyone, like there are hundreds of people I would say today who are connected, not in our team, but we get fabric from someone. That guy has a bunch of people working for him. Then
right,
the fabric goes to the dyeing facility where we dye the fabric. After dyeing, it gets shipped from one place to another, and then it comes to my warehouse, and then we have our tailors who cut, sew, and then there are these women, wonderful women, who make the flowers for us, and there are like an assembly team where we come and assemble everything together. Then there's quality check, and so it's like a supply chain which is very transparent again.
mm,
We know
right,
every single one, we know every single person's birthday, we celebrate everything together. We have like now there's Ganesh Chaturthi, it's the Ganpati festival. So my team is already like they're decorating the office, they're working around celebrating what we've been doing over the years. So it is definitely a big supply chain, but we are a very, very small team.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, how small is your team? I know
So I
you're
would say we are just four of us.
four.
Yeah, yeah. So three in India and one I'm here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Um, and
And my mom's team. So I wouldn't like call it my team, but that's, yes, I take help from her team.
oh, you don't consider your mom on your team?
Not yet.
Does she know
Yeah,
that?
she knows that. Because she wants to retire, and she's
Oh,
always going
okay.
on vacations, and so I'm like kind of stepping up on her work now. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um, the celebration attire, it's cotton underneath and then it's
Yeah.
tooled on top, and then you use the scrap tool to make these beautiful
Yeah.
flowers that
Scrap tool and organza as well.
okay, to just to enhance
Yeah.
beauty, which I just think is so sweet. I mean, first, you're using up the scraps so that there's no leftovers.
And because I wanted these women to get engaged and involved, and I want to give back in some way possible. So they cannot really do much on the way the dresses are sewed and stitched and stuff because we have a very unique technique. But to engage them, yes, these are the celebration flowers, which I call them. So that's where I tie up these women to the beautiful pieces which we create.
Oh gosh, I think that's so fantastic.
Yeah, yeah,
They're not they make such a difference on the
yeah.
dresses,
Mhm.
and not even just the dresses, because you are paying these people to make these
Yeah.
things, and then they have income that they wouldn't have had otherwise.
Right,
They're
right.
enhancing their lives, and then they're enhancing their family. So it's just like this ripple effect, which is just so beautiful.
Mhm.
Can we talk about the emblem that is on your dresses, please?
Yeah, so that emblem, like it's a shooting star. It's very, very close to my heart. I didn't even know that I'm going to have an emblem which is going to be a shooting star. So when I was in college very, what I would say, like very unorganizedly doing things just experimenting and exploring. I got a tattoo, which was a shooting star. And I was like, okay. And I didn't even know I was getting it done. I was just maybe watching a movie and I loved a shooting star. And I was like, okay, this is going to be my tattoo. But over the years I fell in love with my tattoo and I was like, okay, I'm going to make something more out of this. This is just not going to be hidden on my body, but it's definitely going to be something big. So that's why, I thought of making my emblem as a shooting star, but with a purpose. Again, I just wanted people to wish upon that star, with their clothing or with whatever dreams they have in their life around fashion. And I wanted to make them come true.
Hmm.
So that's why the 5 colors in my logo are the color palette of my first collection, which I launched. So those are just the 5 colors with those wonderful tulle dresses. Because over the years, when I've traveled so much to different countries, I've seen tulle dresses are really well adorned in white and ivory and, shades of lighter color. So I just wanted to add my Indian touch of colors. Like, we are so colorful people. So I
Absolutely.
just wanted to add color to it, but in a subtle way. So that's why I started my first collection was called Celestial Cloudscape. So that's where I made these 5 colors and my logo was designed around it. But everybody loved it so much, appreciated. So I did not really consider rebranding. There were a few friends who said, "Oh, why don't you rebrand? Because your Happy Lilliput doesn't say anything about what this is about." I said, "That's what I want it to be. When you wish upon a star, you wish for something, but God or the universe has bigger plans and you get something way better than
Mhm.
what you wished for." So that's why I was like, no, I'm going to stick to my shooting star. And when I started Happy Lilliput, I knew I'm not going to just stay in the kids clothing section, celebration. This is going to be way, way bigger than what I'm planning. So, and I can see that slowly, steadily happening. Now I have accessories. As we were saying, zero waste production. What does that mean? So, like when we make not only tulle dresses, but I work with cotton fabric because I grew up in cotton farms, and cotton is like a dearest fabric to my heart. So I make products out of cotton, and then in those, like when we have leftover fabrics again, zero waste production is we make small coin pouches out of it, like coin purses, then sunglass bags out of that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And then bookmarks, fabric bookmarks, like there are so many things which we just experiment while we are doing these things. So I'm a product not only focused to celebration wear now, but yes, everyday life is a celebration. If you're going to the beach, you're just going to celebrate yourself, spending your me time with each other. So
Right.
that's where I designed some easy breezy cotton clothing, like a beach cover up, a robe, like, pajamas and stuff. So those are the things which are aligned to. That's why like the shooting star definitely made a big difference to my logo. And I wanted to just stick with that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it just like it again, it's a one of those ripple things. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that just it appealed to you, you got it. But the more that you're thinking about it and the more, you get into this business, you're like, yeah, that it just
Yeah.
spreads like it that shooting star, that promise that, it all just it just every so many things become bigger than we planned. And
Exactly.
like you were
Yeah.
saying, you wish for something and you get something different, but it's better.
Yeah. Yes.
But I love the idea of using those extra pieces to make like a little coin purse
Yeah.
or a purse or sunglasses. They're accessories to your
Yes.
celebration attire. Or like you said, you could bring them to the beach or whatever.
Yeah.
Just think that that's it's so smart to use all that. I mean, I to think of all the scrap pieces that, people are like, it's just extra, we'll throw it away.
Yeah.
Like it's so unnecessary, and it just all adds to the problem that we're having with fabrics. Uh,
Right. And I'm also very big, I don't know, like, I really, really believe a lot in manifestation, and it has worked so beautifully with me. I've all, when I used to talk to my friends and they used to share that, oh, I had this aha moment in life. And I used to think, what does that mean? Like, I don't have any aha moment as such. What does that mean? But, when I was just designing this Calm collection, my next collection, which I was talking about, the cotton resort thing. That was my aha moment because in 2020, I had made a watercolor painting, which is sitting in my living room since so many years, right? 2020, 2025, it's like almost 5 years. And I was like, okay, I used to love that because when we moved into this house, I was blessed with a rose garden and peonies. Okay, like that garden, the previous owner had really taken such incredible care of it. And I was like, wow, this was like a dream, having peonies right outside our house. Because in India, we don't get to see peonies. Peonies is like a luxury flower, which we
hmm.
really don't get to see very easily. So that's when I painted this, like, little peonies and roses together. And I wanted to make something really wonderful out of it. So I kept looking at it every day, every day, every day. And one day it just struck to me, why don't I convert it into a print on a fabric, you know? So that's when I took that painting, I put it on a fabric, and I made these, the Calm collection, as I call it. It's like all resort wear. I'm still working on getting it out on my website, but yeah, very soon. So that was like an aha moment for me that, oh my God, like, this was way bigger than just the watercolor painting while I was doing it in pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I had a couple of more.
Wow. Okay, so you moved to the US from England, from the
I know.
UK.
So I moved to the US from England in 2017.
Okay.
And then we were living in upstate New York and Long Island. And then I came to Massachusetts in 2020.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Since then, I've been here.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Hmm.
That was a year.
Yeah.
But I love that so you just appreciated these flowers so much that you
Yes.
painted them and then you were like, let's do something more with that. And so now you have resort wear?
Yes, I do.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so fun. And so you were talking about like beach wear and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But so now this is all coming together for me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's so wonderful. So it started with these little dresses for birthdays and and now you are dressing
Everyone.
anyone that wants to wear it.
Yeah.
And now you have beach and resort wear and what
Accessories
what's
and
next?
yeah. There are a few things which I'm planning next. So as like, I don't talk much about it, but in pandemic, I also wrote a children's picture book, which was like a story from like, my grandfather always used to tell the story to us. So I lived with that story in life. So kindness is something which I really love to spread as along, like, along the way. So I just tried to write a book and I had completely forgotten about that book. I wrote it and I was not supposed to because I was on dependent visa where I couldn't do business and there were restrictions. I was just laying low, read my book, gave it to my friends and that kind of a thing. And I just almost forgot about that until last week when my friend's daughter, she turned 6 and she was reading that book and she sent me a video of that book and she was so happy and that got me so much of joy and I was like, okay, I just don't want to shelf it, I want to do something more with this. So yes, I'm going to get that book out now. I'm going to do something more around the book and there are something more projects which I'm still sampling, I'm still working on those, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to launch it in the coming months.
So you're going to publish your grandfather's story.
Yes, I am.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I love that. And you're doing the art for it?
So I already did. So I took help from my friend. The same thing, I love to paint. Like I'm always painting when I'm not doing
Of
something.
course you do.
Yeah. So that's why, like, I had painted few bits and pieces during the pandemic or before that. So I just gave it to my friend. And there are some pieces around my house. So I told him, like, let's just put this together. I have this one beautiful story. You can illustrate it for me. And we both, collaboratively, got this book to life. And I have the pieces of those books. I have a little copy behind me. And yeah, but slowly I will be working on that as well.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yes,
And
that's
promoting kindness.
yes.
Of
Yeah.
course. That's wonderful.
And it's kindness to yourself before others, because as you say, if you're not happy, you cannot make others happy.
Right.
It's really around that.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Megha, what does Happy Lilliput mean something specific?
So Happy Lilliput doesn't really mean something specific, but yes, it has a little meaning of my perspective, is I grew up watching Gulliver's Travels like a lot. These
Okay.
little people, these Lilliputians from the world. Yeah, so that word was really close to my, I don't know why, but I really used to love that word so much. And there was a brand back in India, like which used to do kids' clothing, but I never liked their clothing, but I loved the name, it was just Lilliput. I was like, oh, that's such a nice name, but they don't do great clothes. They could have done so much better with that. So that's why I just thought of making it like Happy Lilliput. So because I love to be happy all the time.
Right.
So
Well,
that's,
that goes well with celebration attire.
yes, you have to be happy. Yeah.
That's sweet. I
Yeah.
mean, Lilliput really just it rolls off the tongue really easily. That
Right.
just like blah, 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 blah. Okay. I've just been curious about that. Like,
Yeah.
I think that this is wonderful. Do you want to talk about your team at all anymore? Like, do you have anything else that you wanted to add about them?
Yeah, like I can say that, so these people, like women whom we work with, they are like really, really, I wouldn't say uneducated because education is not just around like
Cool.
books
Right.
and things you study. It's about the way you present yourself as well. But they are someone little underprivileged, I would call them, you know, but with big dreams. So I cannot promise them to make all their wishes come true, but definitely the ones which are in my control, I try my best to, sit with them whenever I go to India. I visit India mostly every 6 months where I go spend time with my team. I learn new techniques whenever I'm not doing something or not painting. I'm learning new processes. I'm learning like eco printing now, where I want to really use like leaves and flowers on the fabric and get the imprints down on that. So these are some techniques which so I have a wonderful teacher who's from Indonesia. So he's teaching me these techniques now. So
Wow.
when I'm done thoroughly learning these, I'm going to go back. I have plans of leaving next week. I will be teaching them that technique and then maybe we will start making something around that. And they're always waiting for me to come because because I have a global exposure. I'm really privileged and I really feel blessed around these things. So how much ever I can take with me, I teach it to them and then they create incredible things out of this. So recently a team member of ours, uh, I always pray for their happiness, So I always think that I wish I can help them in a little bigger way. And my prayer just got answered a few months ago. So I have a wonderful project which I'm working on, and one female, her name is Varsha. So she's the one who's leading this project for us, and her husband was the one who was not really willing to let her work,
Right.
initially. But now, a few months ago, her husband is diagnosed with cancer and he cannot do anything. He's sitting at home and she's the one
She
who's
has to
getting,
work. Yeah.
yeah, money in the family, Now she's the breadwinner in the family. So these are the little things which really touch my heart. And I was so happy that I was praying for her happiness, before even her husband was diagnosed with cancer. So that was not under our control, but at least we were able to give her this big project, which she is making her products for, and now she's able to support her family.
Right. Well, and she already had that foot in the door, so when the time
Exactly.
came, she was like,
Right.
I'm sure they could use me more.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So that's
wonderful.
and she's so inspiring. She's so willing to take a lead every single time. And now, the most heart-touching part is her husband sits at home because he's not going out. He helps her in cutting the fabrics, marking the fabric, So
Okay.
yeah,
And so that's more quality time together even.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Goodness.
yeah.
What a blessing for
So
real.
we have a lot of stories like this, a lot, a lot. But yeah, this is the one which is close to my heart.
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, that's just so wonderful.
Mhm.
So Megha, what does the word sustainability mean to you? I know it's a big word and it can mean a lot to a lot
Yeah.
of people, but
So to me, sustainability really means like slow, mindful fashion. And I know again, slow, mindful fashion is like a very, very big term. But to me, is like, just take care of your things. You don't need to buy again and again and again. Buy quality, and really, if you have like something in your mind, don't be afraid to talk to people, or, because see, even dressing is you're expressing yourself so much through just that one piece of clothing which you put on your body. So
Mhm.
it just it does not have to be like very fast fashiony. It can also be meaningful, thoughtful, and you're just creating something for yourself which doesn't exist in the world, and you just take more care about it. It's just like having a pet because it's for you, or it's like having a baby. It's yours, and you're taking care of it. You're just
Mhm.
nurturing it. I nurture my clothes. Maybe I might sound a little crazy in this, but I really love to take care of my clothing.
Right.
So
Well,
that means sustainability
the
to me.
better care you take of it, the longer it lasts. And
Yes,
even
yes.
if you don't use it forever, that means that you can pass it
Exactly.
on to
Just
someone
pass
else.
pass it down. Yeah, yeah,
Yep. I
yeah.
think that's wonderful. I
Yeah.
mean, and I think slow fashion is so, so smart.
Yes,
Like
and
we're just
this is the need of the environment at this point of time. And if we are not able to teach it to the next generation, the younger generation, we've already ruined a lot, and we're just giving more opportunities and chances to make it worse in the future.
right. That's
Yeah,
it's such a good lesson for us to take on, to care for our clothes better and to maybe not have so many clothes. And
yeah.
it's also, I mean, like you're saying, it's a great thing to teach the next generation because
And I have so many wonderful parents now, who are really thoughtful. They don't just go to stores anymore, and they don't buy clothes. So I make their capsule collections. I make their clothes, like, maybe for the next school year. Like, I need, so sometimes I know I'm going to lose money by saying these things to them, but I still say, what, your kid doesn't need back to school clothing every single year. They already have something, they can fit into that. Let's make something more meaningful to them. Maybe there are special events over the years. Let's make something just for those and let them wear what they already have. So these are the things which really, and some people really, they listen to me and then they do it. And then there are some who they just want to do things their way, and I'm okay with that.
right. Yeah, I think it's a hard thing to take on because
Yes, yeah,
it's so ingrained in us to, kids grow and they need new clothes and they don't want to wear the same clothes every year.
yeah.
Um, and I
And
think
even if they want to, their parents don't want them to. Because
right.
it's about the, again, societal
Yep.
pressure and,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. It's
friends
a hard
wearing
thing to
like a
break.
Jordan. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to break, and sometimes it feels almost like a train that it's just too hard to slow down.
yeah,
But we just have to keep putting that thought out to,
right.
just slow down, think about it. Do you really need that? And what if you just got something, really special that you would want to take care of?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to keep saying it. We just have to
Yes.
keep saying it, and
Yeah,
then
the way we are grown up with the term save water, save water. There are people who have really started saving water now, and there are people who don't save water, so it's okay. But at
yeah,
least the ones who are saving, it's making a big difference in the life of others.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, there's just so many things. My goodness.
Yeah.
But okay, so how can people find you
Mhm.
and Happy Lilliput to learn more about you, to maybe order something from you or support
So I
you in
have a
some way?
website which is like www.happylilliput.com. But like my team is always very active on Instagram. Even I check my DMs most of the times. So yeah, feel free to DM me on my Instagram, which is at Happy Lilliput. And we would love to get to know the people who we work with, because I really love to know my clients and their stories, and then I'd love to build something around that.
Right. Well, yeah, especially, I mean, if you're creating something special for them, it's better
Yes.
it's easier if you have an idea who
And
they
I
are.
feel so blessed and happy. I'm a part of so many celebrations now. I'm a part of someone's bar mitzvah. I'm part of someone's, like, 60th birthday. I'm part of someone's 25th wedding anniversary. Like, there are so many beautiful events now, which I really feel like, part of it, which otherwise I wouldn't have ever been invited also to those events.
Right? Oh my gosh. I that is so That's so what it's just so wonderful. I mean, for someone who appreciates being happy so much to be able to share this joy and then have them include you in that joy,
Yes,
to have that just it's so it just like comes back like tenfold or however many fold,
yes,
like you get to create this which gives you that joy and then you see their joy um, and then they'll invite you to the party or send you pictures or,
right,
introduce you to friends or something. Like it's
yeah,
just there's so many ripples in everything that you're
true.
doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's
But
just
they're
so
slow
wonderful.
ripples again, like slow fashion.
Yep.
So I don't, like, I don't have like $1 million goal to achieve in the next few months or weeks. Of course, I have big goals, but then I'm very thoughtful about every single step I take in my business. So I'm just not rushing things at all, because if I'm calling myself a sustainable fashion business owner or a slow fashion business owner, my every step is very calculated and very thoughtful.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, oh gosh, I had a thought. So I think that the beautiful thing about slow fashion is the connection.
Yeah.
If you are buying something, off a store rack, there's like zero connection with that. Like you don't
Mm.
know the person that made it. The person that made it doesn't know you. They don't get to see
Right.
the joy that it brings. And so I think that it's such a beautiful thing about small business
Yeah.
and slow fashion, of course, but small business as well. Um, and you just said something that made me think of something else, and I lost it because I was talking.
It's okay.
But I think this is so wonderful, and I so appreciate you coming and sharing about this, and I cannot wait to see your resort wear and the book come out and whatever else comes next.
Yeah.
But I think that what your goal was to make people happy and to create this exquisite celebration attire is
Yeah.
just such a beautiful expression of you, and
Mm.
also it enhances other people's lives, and I think that's just so beautiful. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to ask was, I know that tulle is not like a natural fabric, but is
Yeah.
there a way to recycle or dispose of that in a sustainable
We
way?
are still working, with a few team back in India. So I'm like constantly, my day starts at 4 a.m., because I have to catch up with the Indian work
Right, of
time as well.
course.
So like we're constantly looking into something. But the best part about these tool dresses are, Amy, I don't get orders of like 500 dresses at a time.
Right,
Like two dresses, four dresses, somebody's fifth birthday, somebody's third birthday. And when these are like heritage pieces, because they don't come just as dresses to you, they come as a story to you. There's a big box to it. And
right.
like, the presentation is incredible.
I could
I'll share
imagine.
pictures so you'll get an idea about, what exactly we do with these things. So if I'm giving this dress to someone, I guarantee you that nobody's going to throw it away for the next a couple of generations, they will not.
Right.
So yes, but definitely there should be a way, like, and I'll try my best to find out few ways of maybe using a recycle tool in the future, or having something more to the dresses after they've been used and everything is done and they're torn. So yeah, I will definitely work around these. But as we say sustainability again, I am also working on more sustainable fabrics as well now. So cotton is just one example, but I'm still looking more closely into banana, like all the, like once your banana is harvested, there are so many things which are just left behind. So we are trying to use make banana yarns, like, the fabric yarns or something out of that. Then there's orange peels. Then there are aloe vera peels and rose petals. So there
Oh,
are so many things. So
goodness.
I'm working with someone in this sector as well, where we're trying to produce some more eco-friendly and more sustainable fabrics. I don't know how they're going to be in the future, how their durability is going to be or something. It's very at a very new phase, but yes, I'm working on that as well.
Okay. I was just curious because it's
Yeah,
one of those things um, that I think that information would be really helpful. But
yeah,
again, like you said, it'll be a couple generations before
hmm
it's that's really needed.
yeah. No, but I'll definitely, that's a good point for you to ask me, because yes, I will have to be more and more thoughtful and more mindful while I'm making these things, and I can definitely find a solution for this.
Okay. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, folks that are listening, I appreciate you listening today. I hope that you really enjoyed this conversation with Megha. And I want you to go back to the promoting, the episode promotion the post that I've done to promote this episode, because I'm going to have pictures that Megha has sent me about, with some of her celebration attire and also her team. We want to celebrate her team as well. So I want you to go back there and check that out and just really appreciate the beautiful work that she's doing. And look her up. And if you need celebration attire, or if you need resort wear,
Yeah.
or if you need uh, accessories.
Yeah.
They've got so much
Anything
stuff.
custom, anything.
Yeah.
Or if they want to start their own clothing brand.
Oh my goodness, yes. Or if you need
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
consultancy.
Consultation.
Consultation. Oh my goodness, it's Sunday morning. My brain is I don't know where my brain is. But thank you so much, Megha. Oh
Thank
my
you,
goodness,
Amy.
this is
Thank
just
you.
wonderful. And I'm
Yeah, this is so
so,
good. And I'm so happy that you're doing something like this, which really makes a big difference to people who don't know what sustainability is, and what are the kind of ways people like me are trying to take smaller steps towards sustainability. So you're really bridging the gap.
oh, well, I'm
Yeah,
trying. I mean, it helps that there are people like you that are doing, that doing different things that we can
yeah,
highlight. I think that, we need more people that are so thoughtful
yeah,
about process.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy.
I just want to take a second to thank my guest again for speaking with me and sharing such great information. I love having these conversations with folks. I also want to thank Buzzsprout for hosting the podcast, for Jane Bolduck and her music genius, for Becca Coffron and her award-winning artwork. And thank you for listening. I appreciate that so much. Please check out the show notes for any links and extra information. And if you would like to follow my guest and find out more about them, I'm sure they would love the follow. And if you don't mind leaving a rating or review wherever you're listening, and just help to get this podcast in front of new eyes, that would be amazing. I would really love that. And feel free to reach out to me on the socials and let me know what you're thinking. And if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, please let me know that. I would love to have a conversation with you about sustainability. All right. Thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of the week.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, how do I get there from here? 'Cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound, yeah, to find me. We'll find a way to soothe the sickness. We'll heal the ache with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here now I'm so far down that mercy's bound, yeah, to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, well, there'll be music, ooh, and good friends around me, yeah, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears.